Hello, hello. How are you? Good morning. I love being able to pop on live and just share a few moments with you from time to time. So here we are. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning. I hope it's Wednesday at least. Yes, it's Wednesday. You never know. As an entrepreneur, the days just all kind of fall together. So hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. I'm really excited to be here this morning, and I wanted to just share a few thoughts on expectations. Okay, I find that especially when you are in business for yourself, and even if that's not even the case, you could be doing anything in this world and you could have this ingrained belief system about expectations. I know for me, I've had the power of expectations ingrained in me since I was a kid. This is something that has always led to disappointment for me. It's just something that I really truly believed in terms of what I expected of other people. And I wanted to share my thoughts on where this comes from. So not only where does that need for expectation and that need for reciprocity, where does that come from, and how can we work through it so we don't end up feeling that state of letdown, okay? Because that can lead to a lot of things like resentment. It can lead to a lot of things within our business that makes us feel like we want to push away because we're not feeling rewarded, we're not feeling appreciated, okay? I do find this somewhat weird going back and forth to like Instagram and Facebook. I feel like I'm looking at you. Anyways, okay, so here's where this is all stemming from. So let me just give you a little bit of background on expectation. So when it comes to the ego's power, okay, is to hold us in a state where we feel that need for agendas, okay? So the ego would say to us, like, I'm holding a debt over you because I've done something for you. And that is that natural belief system that I give, but I give with the intention of reciprocity. If I'm going to give to you, I expect you to do something for me in return, right? If I'm going to, let's take business ownership, for example, okay? If I'm going to do X, Y, Z, for you as my team, I expect you to do X, Y, Z in your business. And when you don't, that is disappointing. When you don't, I get frustrated or whatever the case might be. That is coming from a place of ego, all right? That is coming from a place where I am now holding a debt to you for something that I've done for you, right? So there's like this little fluff that's just flying around my face. I think it just landed. Now it's got an itchy nose. All right, so anyways, you know me, I love going on my tangents. So here's the thing. The flip side of that, which is the side that we want to rest into, and I might get a little bit spiritual on y'all right now, okay? So I might get a little God on you, but this is my belief system. So you can replace that with whatever works for you, with whatever you believe in, but it all works the same way. Spirit, okay? So if we think of the Holy Spirit, if we think about God, if we think whoever your person is, Jesus, God, universe, Dalai Lama, whatever, right? Spirit has the intention that I give freely. I am open, I am inspired, and I give freely. I give to give because I am full. I will always have enough. I will never have lack, and therefore I can give. All right. So you need to figure out what is driving you, because the ego says, did I get what I deserved? Right? I've given. Did I get back what I deserve? Whereas the spirit knows and fills us with our needs are already met. Our needs are always met. We are always so full from an internal space. If we're connected to our higher intelligence, if we're connected to that infinite source, then our needs are always met. Always, 100% of the time, they are met. So it's your connection with God. It's your connection with Holy Spirit. It's your connection with that higher space, right? Where our needs are always fulfilled and we never have lack, ever have lack. When we have expectations on other people, the reason we have the expectation is because we're feeling that there's a void inside of us. And we're hoping that someone else externally is going to fill that void for us. That's why there's an expectation, right? Now, that's like, you can't be completed by anything outside of you. You can't. It is impossible for you to find completion in anything other than what is already inside, because you have been given 100% of fulfillment by what's created you. Okay, so the whole purpose of what I'm saying here is that we need to learn how to give freely. We need to learn how to give openly, learn how to give with no hidden agendas, with no expectation of anything in return. And that's not an easy thing to do if we have always learned how to give from a place of reciprocity. I give to you, you give something back to me. Right? We have to give from a place of freedom where it's like, I give because I have so much to give, right? I give because I have been given so much love. I am so full that no matter how much I give out, I will always still be full inside. There is no depleting this cup because I'm filled from something higher than me, not from myself. I am always filled. Right? And so our expectations of others have to be relinquished. They have to be relinquished. We have to squash expectations from other people because we will 100% of the time be disappointed. It's impossible for us not to be disappointed by other people because our expectations and their expectations will rarely match up. Rarely will what we think somebody should be doing and what their desire to do, rarely do those two things mesh, right? Because we all have our own desires and plans and goals and dreams and agendas and lives, and we all have our own pathways. So how is it going to be possible that what we want of somebody is going to be identical to what they want to do if we all have our own paths? So we'll always be disappointed if we're holding our goals onto other people doing X, Y, Z. So you got to remember, the ego expects. God, Holy Spirit, universal energy, right? Accepts. There's surrender there. There is, I'm accepting whatever comes forward. I am freely giving, right? That is the two different spaces. So ego is a thought system that we have just learned to believe in. We've just learned that this is my belief pattern. This is what I deem to be true. This is what I deem to be accurate because I've believed it for so long. But that belief system is all based on fear. It's all based on things that are going to disappoint us. And if we don't want to live in that space and we want to create, powerful businesses and we want to be successful, we have to relinquish those expectations on other people. So for a lot of people, the reason that we hold these expectations or that we need that reciprocity, that we need somebody to thank us, we need somebody to appreciate us, it's because we're feeling lack, and we're feeling lack because we're operating in the ego's belief system, right? That we need. Whereas if we flip it and we're operating where we're so connected to that higher system, right? If you're so connected to that higher space, right? And God and the Holy Spirit, like if you're so connected to that, there's no one else in this world. There's nothing else, nobody outside of you who will appreciate you more. So if you're that person that feels that need to be appreciated, which was me, which is why I'm teaching this, guys, because you can only teach what you've healed through or what you're healing through at the moment. Okay, so this is why, when you start going through these types of healing processes, it's literally like the heavens start to celebrate for you. And it's like, yes, okay, she gets it. Like, this is awesome. Because for you to be able to connect on that type of level will change everything that you do in life and business. It's just the way that it is. So it's almost like you need to just go deeper and remind yourself that my needs are being met. My needs are being met. Whatever God guides me to do, my needs will always be met and I will always be given the steps to accomplish it. So as someone right now, I'm getting certified to teach Think and Grow Rich. And Think and Grow Rich does not take on a religious belief. We call it infinite intelligence. Infinite intelligence is that ability to connect to the higher, that infinite energy, right? To your higher source, your higher beings. Okay, so that is the same thing. Like whatever I'm being guided to do, when I sit in silence and I ask for guidance, you will always be given answers. It sounds like it's just a voice inside your head talking to yourself, but it's not. It's you getting direction. And if you've been guided to do something, your needs will always be met. And that's what's important to understand, because God's plan is absolutely perfect and sound. Okay, it's perfect in all that it's meant to be, and everything that you need to accomplish that plan will always be given to you. Always, every single time. Because if you decide that it's that plan that you're going to follow, you will always be given the steps, you'll always be given what you need. And here's the thing, you already know your outcome. If you start to become connected and you sit and you pray or you meditate and you ask for guidance and you ask for that direction, you will be given your outcome. And once you know your outcome, right? So for me, I know I will be a presidential diamond in doTERRA. There is no question about that. I already see the 7 figures I'm earning. I already see my 6 platinums. I already see the power of my outcome. I know I'm going there. I know I will be a keynote speaker on stages all over the world. I know that because I've already seen the plan. I've already been given the downloads. I've already been given that image, that vision. So I already know the outcome. So I need to let go of how I'm getting there and shift focus to just doing the plan, right? So asking yourself every single day, what am I inspired to do today? What am I inspired to do? I actually have that listed right here. I wrote that before I started this on my little bamboo whiteboard. I wrote that down and I said, what am I inspired to do? And then I'm gonna sit in silence for a few moments, gonna do a few inhales of one of my favorite oils that grounds me, and then I'm gonna find out what it is that I'm inspired to do. Now, I already have a list of things that I need to do today, but this was actually the first thing that came to me. I'm like, I'm inspired right now to hop on and share my heart with you guys before I move into my day, because I think it's so important that we learn how to operate from this space of, once we know what our outcome is letting go of what that journey looks like. Because I used to operate so much out of ego, and I would be so frustrated being like, you know, I hit this rank, and then, you know, this month I fell back to a lower rank, and then, you know, I hit consistently this rank for 6 months, and then how did I fall back again this month to a lower rank? And I was so attached to that title, or what money would be dropped into my bank account, because, you know, I'm worth this much money, and how could, you know, and I would get caught up in that cycle. And then I had to stop and realize, well, wait a second, my needs are always met. My family has everything that we need. I am providing for my whole family right now while my husband pours back into his business. And so I've never had to borrow money or work out of savings. My needs have always been met. So why am I so attached to this title, or to what, you know, the 5 figures that get landed into my bank account? Why do I get so attached to that? And that's the ego speaking. It's speaking from lack. It's speaking from fear. It's speaking from, you know, that desperation. And that is not the space we're supposed to live in. When we are guided by infinite intelligence, when we are guided by God, when we are guided by that divine plan, your needs will always be met. Okay, and just understanding that, so it's detaching from the process, because sometimes that whole fallback isn't a fallback, really. You actually didn't lose anything. Nothing was taken away from you. You didn't lose anything. Sometimes it's the need to actually destroy the ego and the fear behind it. That is what's required out of certain things like that happening. So if you're in network marketing, sometimes you might feel, why am I stuck at this freaking rank? Why am I stuck at this rank? Why haven't I moved? Why haven't I moved forward? Why am I not progressing in my business? right? And sometimes that happens. And really, every single person I've ever met, anyone I've ever coached, anyone I've ever worked with, all get stuck at a specific rank. There's one rank that they get stuck at for so long, but there is this brilliance within that space that they need to learn. And until those lessons have been accomplished and have been fought for, will they stay there, right? And it's not something wrong with you. It's not something bad. It's, you know, it's just, it is what it is. It's a lesson. It's something that we need to develop inside of ourselves that likely until this point, you had never developed in your past. You had never developed, whether it be in past jobs, past relationships, past experiences. You just never came to an opportunity where you actually had to shatter the glass ceilings that were holding you back. Because in so many jobs, we can hide this stuff. We can push it under the rug. In life, we can run away. We can avoid. That lesson will follow you everywhere you go. And it comes to a point where you have to be like, I need to face this, right? So back to the point at hand as I wrap up here, you know, do you expect of other people? And think about where those expectations are coming from. Are those expectations coming from a place where I want to achieve my goal, so I expect that you show up and do what you have to do so I can get to where I want to go, right? Always will lead to disappointment. So my expectations of other people, right, in my business is that they show up for their potential. That's the only thing I hold people to, is their potential, their goals. And that's where I feel there can be a little bit of a shift difference, is that am I showing up to serve you and showing up to serve you and in what you have said you wanted to do with your life, because I know that I can push people and sometimes trigger them, but I will gladly be somebody's trigger. I will gladly be something that pisses people off at the beginning if it means it's going to help them shatter that glass ceiling. Because everybody deserves to live in a place where they're connected to infinite intelligence and they're connected to their divine purpose. Because too many people in this world, like 98% of people, will die with their song still inside of them. Will leave this world never having walked out their purpose, never having connected to their greater good. 98% of people are under the influence, not that of their higher self, right? They're under the influence of fear. And fear and faith do not coexist. They cannot. You have to choose one. So, in conclusion, I want you guys to take this powerful message and be able to do a little bit of self-reflection, right? And consider what it is that you put on other people, and if you are connecting to the fear-based lack or to the infinite overpour of I always have everything that I need and there's so much more from where this is coming from that I can give with no agenda, because I will always be fulfilled. Always be fulfilled, because I'm connected to my divine plan, and because of that, my needs will always be met. I love you all. Have an amazing Wednesday, and catch me live later on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, as I am doing 6 days over the next 6 days. Started yesterday, so 7 days, where I'm going to be also teaching you guys my Mind Fitness Mastery principles. So have an awesome Wednesday, and we will see you later.